This is Hazel and her baby Willow, and she is my new milking cow. And when I say my, I co-own her with some other people. We have put together a cow share. So, because the cow is quite a lot of work and gives quite a lot of milk. So I am responsible for looking after and milking her twice a week, and other people fill in the other days of the week. So it's really awesome. But because I now have a milk cow, which I'm really excited about, I have a reason to use my really good grass that I grow on my pasture lawn, and to make the most of the great chicken fertilized grass that I have. I've been using a scythe to mow the grass and bring it to feed Hazel. So I'm maximizing the fertility of the grass that I've been working on for years, and Hazel is reaping the benefits and making beautiful milk for her baby and for us. So I will show you how I'm using that scythe to make the most of my pasture. This is my scythe. So I'm here in a section of my lawn pasture that I have been growing nice and long for feed for the cow. And this year, because I've got the cow, I am using the scythe to do all of my pasture lawn management. So I've had the scythe for a couple of years. I went to a workshop and got it and learned how to use it. And if you want to get into scything, I do recommend trying to find a workshop if you can, because you do have to sort of learn how to use it the most effectively. But generally, I've only been using it here and there, and I've still mostly been using the lawnmower. But this year, because I've got the cow, I've got a reason to use all of this wonderful grass that I have. I'm using the scythe. I haven't used the lawnmower in a couple of months now. And scything is really fun, and it's nice to not have the machine just roaring while you're out in the garden. So I really am enjoying it. Now, this is a European scythe, and it was imported. So they're not made in New Zealand. The best ones come from Europe, and they're not cheap, but they will last essentially a lifetime if you look after them properly. So do find a good quality one if you're going to get into it yourself, and learn how to use it, ideally from someone who can teach you, which is not me. I am not a scything expert. Go and find other videos for really good how-tos on this. This is just a demonstration on how I'm using it in my yard. I'm going to jump in and show you guys how I'm actually using my scythe. So this is a bit of lawn pasture that I've let grow quite long. I'm sort of managing it in chunks. So one day I'll cut one section, let it regrow. Another day I'll cut a section that's been waiting a bit longer. So it looks a little bit all over the place, but I'm okay with that. Now, scythes are really sharp, and you need to keep them sharp as you are out doing your work. So usually you would carry your whetstone with you with a little bit of water in a whetstone pouch. I've already had a little go sharpening it, so it's ready to go. But depending on what you're cutting, you might need to sharpen it every 5 to 10 minutes or so. Depends on how much grass you've got to cut. And so that is what I have done. Very sharp. Be careful when you're out doing your scything that you don't have chickens or pets running into your swing. So the idea of scything is that you're using the motion of your body to achieve your cut. So it's sort of like moving with it. It's not going out and using your arms and getting in. It's all about a nice flowing motion. So I am not the world's greatest scyther at all, and my lawn pasture has lots of bits in it, so I'm quite careful about where I am putting the blade, and sometimes I'm checking before I make a swing to make sure there's nothing stopping me here. And there are some chickens running around here, so I'm going to be quite careful. I'm not just going to hit it fast. So the idea is that you've got the blade nice and low to the ground, and you're making a nice arc around yourself, moving slowly forward. And then it makes you this lovely long grass that you can feed to your cow, or you can dry down for chicken bedding. I've done that quite a bit. And the idea is that you just keep on doing your row. Now I know somewhere up here I've got a bit of pipe sticking up out of the ground, so I'm going to be careful about how I go around there. So I'm going to just make smaller movements to clear around where the obstruction is. And because of the shape of the grass sections that I'm working with, I've chosen to get a very short blade for my scythe. So this is a 55 centimeter blade, which you might use more for weed clearing. If you've got a larger patch of grass, a more square shape with no obstructions, you'd want to get a much longer one because it's going to be much more efficient. You're going to get a much better swing when you're cutting, but that's not the case here. I'm moving around a lot of trees, so this is the best choice for my situation. But if you find someone who can assist you in learning about scything, they can help you pick the right blade and help you get set up ergonomically. Because the whole idea of the scythe is that it should be nice and moving and natural. But yes, how I need to scythe in these little areas isn't really how you would go out and scythe if you had a nice clear patch, but it still works. It works very well. Right, there's a few too many chickens running around here for me to be comfortable continuing on here, but that's given you a general idea. And this is what I'm producing. Now, when you can go up and down in a nice clean space with your scythe, it actually makes sort of windrows, like rows, nice lines that are easy to pick up and deal with of your cut grass, which is really handy. I can achieve that in one section of my lawn, but not most of the section. So usually I'm just winging it, seeing what I've missed when I come back the next day. So if you're really concerned about having a beautiful, super level lawn, maybe scything's not for you. You can absolutely achieve that, but it is a skill that you need to work on. And my skill with the scythe is not good enough to consistently achieve like a beautiful manicured lawn situation. But for making feed and bedding and all the things that I can use this abundance of grass for, it works absolutely fantastically, and I really enjoy using it. So here is an example of all the obstacles that I have going on because I've got so many trees and bits and pieces. The thing I like about the scythe is, unlike a line trimmer or a lawnmower or a hand tool that you have to get low to deal with, is you can stay upright, straight, moving nicely, and you can carefully clear around your trees. Carefully, because it's very sharp, and if your tree is small, you might actually cut your tree a little bit. But it's the only tool that I know that you can stay upright and clear around a tree. Now, I'm being very careful. If you had a bigger tree, you could be a little bit more aggressive with your clearing, but I'm being cautious because this tree's only a couple of years old. And because you can't take a line trimmer up to a little tree, you can't get a lawnmower in close, and the only other thing I can think of you could use is a little sickle knife, and you'd have to be down there clearing it all. So it's great for that. So I love it for that. And the thing about the European scythes is they've been used for a really long time. They're a piece of technology that humans have sort of perfected over the centuries. They're a pretty ancient thing, but they came into common use in the Middle Ages in Europe. And when people were cutting forages to store for their cattle and sheep and goats over the winter, that's what they're super useful for. And for cutting wheat crops and things like that before horse harvesting was a major thing. So for small scale farms and backyards, they're still a super useful tool today, like really, really useful, super ergonomic, and there is a push to try and introduce them into places of the world where they are still doing a lot of hand harvesting, places like India and things like that, because they are so ergonomic and efficient, much more efficient than hand sickles, which is what a lot of hand harvesting is done with. But with a hand sickle, you're having to bend over to harvest. And with this, you do not have to bend over. You set it up for your body and you can work for hours without hurting yourself in any way. It's actually a very, very nice form of exercise. It doesn't sort of mess your body up at all, because if you're using it right, watch someone else's videos to make sure you are. If you're using it right, it is like almost like Tai Chi or something like that, and how you're moving. So it doesn't damage your body, which is fantastic. I love it. I love that I'm able to use it to make my grass just really, really useful. Feeding it to the cow. I can dry it as hay for the cow. I can use it for chicken bedding, and if I just need extra stuff to throw in the chicken run. And unlike the lawnmower, it's quiet. I don't have to remember to get fuel, and it doesn't mash the grass up into tiny little pieces, because you can't mow the lawn and then take lawn clippings and feed a cow very easily, but you can scythe your lawn and take that beautiful long grass to feed your cow or your goat or your sheep, or just dry it for your chickens. I really, really enjoy it, and I recommend you look into seeing if you can get a scythe and learn how to use it too.